That's their side.
Almost there. Everybody's
They're gonna do awesome, dude.
Is it too late to think back? It's too late.
You always wanted it before.
I know I do.
fantastic. Thank you. Before we
Is it too late to change my mind?
Yes, it is.
We're going to show just a short 3 or 4 minute video to you, so please pay attention to the screen.
Love how you do the mascot too. Love your mascot. I mean, or their mascots.
The coyote, yeah.
Yeah, right. Do I really look like that?
Population awareness book. It's very unique. It's extraordinary. It's written in the voice of someone that has autism.
Should you be up in the stage?
His artistic mind is something that I think is profound.
You're wearing the same shirt, are you?
It really is the beginning of holding understanding for many people that have autism and other unique abilities. I have no idea what he wants to write, and it's something shared. So we
Yes.
had a conversation about the book.
That guy's awesome.
And I am so excited. The way he presented to me was in population 1, not so much he was a population 1, but each of us.
Oh man, they come to his face.
It is an extraordinary feat when a teenager writes and publishes a book. Only having to read it 500 times one time before, and this person that happened to didn't have any challenges, any unique abilities, so to speak. And for Tyler to take a bull by the horn and do this and drive these coaching calls and write this book and say we're going to be done before I write it.
And then they'll
That's the
call us and they'll go up.
Okay.
Population 1 is the book that I read.
You're gonna deal with it.
That I'm going to.
And you make the basket. That's for any sound, right?
I sound
I
terrible.
think it'll be really great to kids, teenagers, and teachers, and those or any kind of individual have the ability to succeed or to share my worlds with theirs, to be inspired to make their lives better.
He inspires us to carry on. He inspires us to rethink what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Okay. So we have a very special opportunity today to have Tyler McNamer here with us. He's actually not that much older than you guys. He has a book that has been published. Okay. He's going to talk to you a little bit about his experience about what it's been like to be labeled as disabled, but yet actually someone that really just has unique abilities. He's going to share some insights about being kind and accepting the kindness of others. I am personally really excited to have him here, so I know you are too. Let's give him a huge round of applause.
My name is Tyler McNamer, and to be quite honest, you all scare me. You scare me, you scare me, you scare me, you over there scare me, and you scare me. If I were to make a decision to run away to my own home, all the way down to Bainbridge Island, and play my Wii U, I would definitely do so. But I'm not going to do that. Because your teachers have given me the opportunity to speak in front of over 600 people about what it's like to have awesomeism. That's a brand new word, so you all got to get to say it now. Say it with me, awesomeism. Awesomeism. It's not autism, O-double-D-tism. All right, so autism. So I came here just to face my fears and make this a very successful presentation. Thanks for having me over here. Now, like the video says, I did write a book. It's down in your library and able to be read by everyone. And about autism, I would like to say that most of the things I've written are all stories and personal experiences and things like that. And newspaper articles, pretty much everything that I wrote and put together and make sure that it's all in topic. My legs are shaking, so sorry about that. So, yeah, I'm still scared, so be with me. I'm sorry about this. So, the topic over here that I'm going to talk about is kindness. Now, there's a big, huge difference between the word kindness and niceness. I just made up that word, niceness. It's not a real word. Look up it in the dictionary. So, niceness is when you look up to someone and say, nice hairdo, or nice shirts, or nice pairs of shoes. It makes you feel good and all that kind of stuff. I wrote a chapter that is entitled, Hi Tyler. And it's a very common word that we get to hear a lot of times, where we get to hear our own names, as long as it happens to be the word hi. Hi Tyler, all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much the general conversation that I get to have most of the time. And but it is nice, but sometimes it needs to be more than that. It needs to be more than just hi. It can be a big conversation or anything like that. So, with conversation, it's good to keep it simple. Like, how did the game go? Or did you catch the latest game last night? Sports. There's a lot of sports in high school. And start with that, and it'll become a big conversation. What do you like? What things do you prefer that are your interests? And personally, to me, I think it's pretty good. I like to think of it like this. A lot of people have different tastes in genre of music. So like country and rap, all that kind of stuff. But personally, I don't really have like a favorite genre of music, so I kind of like all the genres. It doesn't have to be rock and roll or country and all that kind of stuff. So what tie in with different people is that there's lots of different people that can be very surprising to you, that you might think he might change the world or she might change the world. I would like to mix in with the autism spectrum and to someone who changed the world. And this person, he's made a huge impact on the video game industry. See if you can all guess what it is. Started at Game Boy, worked at Nintendo. All these different creatures that you get to catch them all. Pocket Monster. Pokemon. I like to call it Pocket Monster because that's the abbreviation for Pokemon. That's right, Pokemon. Now, there's this one person who invented Pokemon. His name is Satoshi Tajiri. And he should be an easy person to pronounce. But Satoshi Tajiri, he wasn't a big fan of school. He hated homework and wanted to skip class just to play arcade games. And he wasn't really quite the most social person in school. Kind of had trouble speaking, all that kind of stuff. And always into the arcades. He's kind of like the odd one out. But the thing that really stands out the most for Satoshi Tajiri is that when he was a child, that he would love to collect bugs and insects, which pretty much ties into the insect Pokemon, and pretty much, I believe, is the first species of the Pokemon genre. And so he kind of mixed that with his personal style of catching them all into a giant video game that spanned from comic books to trading cards to TV shows to movies to even clothing designs too. Pokemon is definitely a huge monster of a success. And he has autism. Satoshi Tajiri has autism. But who cares? He made this giant success this success. And no one needs to know if you have autism or not. as long as he did something amazing that changed the world or evolutionized the world. Since, Pokemon, they like to form into different forms of evolution. Now I would like to tie in with another big, important thing that changed the world, with someone who has autism. All right, Bill Gates, the richest man in North America. He has autism, but no one really wants to know. No one really wants to. Actually, let me start over. No one really has to know that he has autism. He made something extraordinary, and that is the home computer. In his school style, he was kind of, all on his own, kind of in his own thoughts. Intelligent man, very smart, and very, ingenuitive sort of thing. He's an inventor. He loves to invent stuff and to make things better, to change the world. And he has autism. Who cares? He built a computer that spanned from there to the Mac, to the iPad, to iPhones. He pretty much is the granddaddy of modern day technology for the home computer. And with that, he's the richest man in North America. Pretty awesome. In fact, when you're the richest man and you're a grown-up person who has a bouncy house in their own house, not a lot of people who are millionaires, right? Pretty cool, I think. I always wanted to go in his little bouncy house, be a child again. Anyway, all right. So with that, those two things, Satoshi and Bill, they may make different things, but they have the ability to change the world. They may not have, the most socialized parts of school, but that's the whole point about HAL Laboratories and Nintendo. Those two companies will work as a group, as one whole, as a teamwork, and that's how they managed to make Pokemon for the Game Boy. And teamwork requires lots and lots and lots of kindness. Now with kindness, it can be very small things, so like holding the door for someone. In fact, just recently, me and my mom went to Wendy's, and my mom was the one that told me, hey, would you mind opening the door for this man? He kind of had some crutches, and I did open the door for his man. And then in return, the man's wife gave me coupons for Wendy's. It was amazing. Even she knows over there. Yeah, so I'm going to be buying her more Wendy's foods after I'm done with this. And it's pretty cool. You never know whenever you do a kind act. You might be rewarded with another kind act. And it might span from there. So you might be surprised on, who knows, if you hold a door for someone or helping them up the stairs or anything like that. And personally, I kind of like to do kind acts with insects and bugs too. When I was in elementary school, I was kind of mostly the last kid out, last kid picked. Not a lot of kids really understand and all that kind of stuff. I was kind of the lonely person, so I would kind of take advantage of that and be friends with bugs and insects. I kind of like to interact with caterpillars or butterflies and flowers too. A lot of people kind of make fun of me for liking flowers so much, but to me, I think flowers are cool. They smell nice too. So just recently, when I was at West Sound Technical Skills Center, it's a little technical skill, kind of like an extra classes for high school. I went back from there and back to high school, and I saw a little bee that didn't have the ability to fly. Of course, he can walk and run just fine, but he didn't really know how to fly. And then one of the kids stepping out from the bus was about to squish that bee, and I was like, no! I just grabbed his foot, and he's like, dude, what are you doing, man? What are you, freak? And I'm like, you're going to squish the bee. How am I going to get the honey? And so he kind of looked at me weird, and he kind of thinks I was kind of a little freak and stuff. It doesn't really feel good. It's definitely not the kind to act sort of thing. But so I saved the bee, and I couldn't pick up the bee with my bare hands because that's dangerous. So I used my coat and picked up the bee, and the thing I just realized is that the bees have a unique way of saying thank you. So when I put the bee onto a nearby flower, the bee said to me thank you by by happily sucking the stamen out of that flower. He really wanted to find a flower that he can get some pollen. And for that, I decided to call the bee Humphrey. Humphrey the honeybee. You are an inspiration. All right. But with that, I would say that sometimes it's good to be kind to animals or insects and bugs. With other kids and students, it's really good to be kind to them, just like you were to that bee. Like, for example, someone that's small of stature. I was kind of like the smallest of the group in high school, and I was trying to reach something, and some tall guy who reached it for me. It was just a little cookie. It was like when I was in elementary school and all that stuff too. And yeah, that's kind of an example of helping bees to their flowers, is helping to get that cookie off the shelf. So with that, it is possible to have kindness. But the thing about kindness is that it's very hard to do kindness. I can understand that. I've heard videos saying that if you do these things, acts of kindness, they will reward you. But the tough part about it is that they're afraid that they will get rejected from the kindness. And it doesn't really feel good. Like offering up a hand, they say, no, I don't want your help. I'm totally fine. And it doesn't really feel good. So say if you're in a zombie apocalypse and you get bitten, do you say, no, it's just a flesh wound. I think it'll heal over time. No, you accept the help because you're going to turn into a zombie. So same thing. It's like, come on, soldier. It's, you just, so pretty much there's two people that make kindness work. One is offering for the help, and the second person is accepting the help. And the accepting word is always very important, especially when it comes to kindness. So accepting help and also having acceptance of others. No matter if we have autism or deaf or blind or anything like that, you just pretty much be who you are. And who knows, you might change the world and become the next Pokemon. But who knows, I don't think anyone can be the next Pokemon because it's the best thing in the world. I got a bunch of friends who are into Pokemon, so, friends, this is for you. And so with acceptance, it's only for a couple of times. It'll only take a few seconds to go to the nearest nurse's office. And then after you do that act of kindness, you go back to your own schedule. And it's like, as if nothing happened. The thing about autism is that sometimes they tend to forget words sometimes. They know they got in their heads, but they kind of forget sometimes. Let's see. Shoot, I can't believe I forgot about that. But anyway. All right, but anyway. Thank goodness for outlines. I tell you what. All right, but anyway, is that with acceptance? I'm going to go back because I completely forgot where I was. It's kind of weird. So anyway, and who knows? It can be very short with kindness, and who knows? You might be rewarded, or maybe you may not be rewarded. Either way, it still makes you feel good. Now with kindness out of the way, even though this is the thing, I would like to say that a little bit more about autism. Is that autism is a very mysterious diagnosis. So when I say mysterious, it's like sometimes even the person with autism doesn't really know what's going on. And so with this mysterious diagnosis, some of the symptoms would be like, be super quiet. And the reason why they're super quiet is that they're afraid to say something so blaspheming or idiotic sort of thing. They're afraid they'll be so darn embarrassed that they would reject from the public sort of thing. And they just want to be alone in the corner. And for that, I would like to challenge that. I have autism, And I'm speaking in front of a live audience. And I think anyone can speak in front of a live audience. They don't have to reject themselves from the public. They don't have to be alone in their own thoughts. And I think that's going to be pretty cool. I think there should be people. I mean, Bill Gates, he's been speaking engagements, and he's pretty good with what he wants to share to the world. And, oops, and with that, that's pretty darn awesome. So another thing about autism is that they may be very socially bad, but inside they always have a very focused mind on certain things, like imagination or math or writing or even artwork too. I mean, you see, the Pokemon, extremely amounts of imagination. And, it's by that guy, Satoshi Tajiri. And he used that animation to the test. I think that's pretty awesome. Kind of like a little example of what the autistic mind can do, sort of thing. And, with artwork, they kind of have different ways of drawing or different ways of painting and sort of thing. Kind of like, because every painting has like a little message that they want to send out. Or writing, even, too. I like to write. I like to write stories. It's one of my favorite things to do. And the stories that I could go for is that, it's fictional and sometimes non-fictional, but sometimes I like to mix fantasy with non-fiction. It's kind of like a little non-fiction, sort of fiction, non-fiction, fiction. Non-fiction fiction, that's what I'm going to call it. All right, and so basically with autism, they may be bad at socially, but really good, but very smart inside. That's why sometimes they're good at tests on certain subjects, and they have a vivid imagination. They like to keep themselves silent most of the time too. And it's kind of interesting because you'll never know what they'll do in the next 30 years or so. And with that, I guess that's pretty much the thing about autism is that's what I like to say. Now, I also made, on my book, I wrote a chapter that says, "Run with the wind." Ever heard that saying, "Run like the wind"? It's kind of a little common saying right there, and I understand. But I would like to say that it's running with the wind, so it would probably be pretty good. You may still feel it, but sometimes the wind can still be with you. When I say run with the wind, it can mean like a bunch of things. Like for example, play basketball like Anthony Hardaway, or play basketball like him. Or if you want to play basketball with Anthony Hardaway, kind of has whole terms with like and with. And I would say that like is niceness, but with is kindness. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And I think that'll be pretty good. I mean, you'll never know what will be good if you use that with term a lot. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, I was a recent graduate to high school at Bainbridge Island, and it was a pretty interesting experience. They have the saying that freshmen and seniors tend to don't get along pretty well, and to that I feel kind of sad. It's not really a fair match. I remember when I was a senior, the freshmen were kind of like saying, "Boo, boo the Spartans, boo," because the Spartans was our mascot, and so they were saying, "Let's go other team, go other team," and the seniors were booing the freshmen. There's kind of like a big battle between the freshmen and seniors. Let me just share you a brief moment on what's like with me being the freshman. So when we started, the freshman kids they were kind of very scared about the seniors. And one time there was the football stadium, and this is kind of like one of the first times I've ever spoken in front of a live audience, or even cheering in front of a live audience. When I was in a football stadium, I had to be in characteristics, so I dressed up like a dark street cowboy, a little black hat and everything. I always like cowboy hats, they're pretty cool. And what I did was that when the music played, I started dancing like wildly and crazy. Break dance, disco dancing, everything. I'm a big dancer. I love dancing. And with that, the seniors really liked it. They were pretty surprised that I was able to dance in front of the seniors and sharing the school spirit in front of the whole high school. And with that, I became the seniors' really good friends. In fact, we were becoming such a good friends that I even wrote a little newspaper article saying goodbye to the seniors and saying that I will definitely miss you. And you were such an inspiration for saying that seniors and freshmen can get along. Not just seniors and freshmen, but the sophomores and juniors, and yeah, everyone. They can be together. There is no balance in between on these things. It's just that you got to show that you want the seniors to be kind to you by showing kindness to them. So that means, you know, I say go, they say Spartans. And I did it a lot louder than I should have. Broke a bunch of vocal cords on that one. And with that, that's a pretty cool high school experience. I'll never forget. Now, all right. Now, in the book, I have autism, and sometimes, like I said, with autism, you kind of get, hidden in the corner, sort of thing too. You kind of, be alone and all that kind of stuff. So I wrote this little chapter called "The Growth of the Invisible Boy." Originally, I was going to call this chapter "Growing Ghost" because it sounds pretty cool, but I didn't because usually ghosts are bad. They don't really do a lot of things. So I said "Invisible Boy" because it sounds pretty good. I thought it would be a good time because ghosts are not as friendly as invisible. So there's a big evolution with this growth of the invisible boy and elementary school through high school. So in elementary school, I used to be good friends with these kids. I used to think of them as brothers and sisters. I used to give flowers to them. I used to, because I love flowers, show them cool bugs, all that kind of stuff, and play against each other. Because in elementary school, we learned how to share, how to help one another, how to compliment one another. That's pretty much the amazing thing about elementary school is that you get to learn certain basics, but those certain basics, they kind of have a huge impact on you, sort of thing too. And after elementary school, I went to this thing called intermediate school. That's right, we had an intermediate school. Definitely not what a lot of schools have, but it's kind of like an extra set of grades for elementary. So I went to intermediate school, and those kids I used to like, they kind of slowly fade away. I mean, we still interact, but not as great or very effective as they were in elementary school. And then in Woodward's middle school, in the middle school, I feel like I kind of almost gone back because there was a bunch of dance competitions, and I get to dance like wild, dance like crazy, and the kids, they get to join the bus stop. That's a little move I like to call myself, to call it the bus stop. And I felt like I was going to be with those guys. But then when high school came up, it pretty much all kind of changed down to being invisible once again. And the huge theory about being invisible is that I used to go to the students or to the teacher conference lodge to get like a few snacks or little fidgets, and the teachers would put me in this cloak of invisibility. And I really like the cloak of invisibility. It makes me feel pretty good. It's like a little fantasy sort of thing. But as the time goes on, it kind of slowly feels like the cloak of invisibility is actually working. So in high school, groups get to form. New friends get to involved. I'm not saying meeting new friends is bad, because meeting friends is a great thing. But when it comes to rejection on the friends you used to know in middle school, in elementary school, it kind of boils down to feeling like, oh, what's going on? I feel kind of lost. They were so good to me. They taught me the values of having a good time, how to share. In fact, when I was in elementary school, I didn't really know how to have fun. I didn't know how to have a good time at recess. But the kids showed up, and they told me that recess is a great thing. It's very, very cool, very fun. And with that, high school kind of boils down to invisible. And then once I graduated, that's when I become completely vanished. And most of those people cannot see me. And it's pretty much the worst thing that I could ever realize. I always wanted to see those people again. I still miss them. You know, the interesting part about it is that I was reading some articles and looking at some more videos and saying that a lot of kids probably feel the same thing. They probably still feel like that they want to be with those certain kids that they want to see for a long time. And you don't get to know them better and all that kind of stuff. You get to know them better, you know, have fun with them, expand your group horizons, sort of thing. But instead, a bunch of new groups that come in, and you know, when it comes to a new group, you have to get rid of the last group you were in. So with me, the title Population 1 is that I would say that there is going to be a large, huge group, one group of people. If you're a hardcore biker or a hippie or you know, a Pokemon trainer, that's when you can go all you know, come together as a population of one. You know, you don't have to say anything. All you gotta do is, I mean, when I say not say anything, is that I had a dream saying that all these people, they don't have to say anything. All they did is that they were in a journey, kind of looking for peace, sort of thing, looking over the hills as well. And you know, even if you don't say anything, you still are a person, no matter what you look like or what your attitude is, sort of thing. And with that, I believe it is possible to regain that friendship once again. Because let's face it, if you have a huge group, it's like having a huge army, sort of thing. And by army, I mean like you know, more people is good, because you know, you feel like you have power, or you know, everyone has power because it's such a huge group and stuff. Like say that if you know, there's an open stage and there's a bunch of rock and roll enthusiasts and a bunch of jazz enthusiasts, the rock and roll people have has a more group, so the chances are the rock and roll people are going to take over the stage, sadly, unfortunately. But this is kind of like what I'm saying with large groups. It kind of boils down to the immense power sort of thing as well. And I think that'll be pretty cool. All right. I would like to say that there's another story in high school. You know, the foreign exchange students, they like to come over and to see what it's like to be in the school. There was two kids, one from Germany and one from Turkey. And they didn't really speak a whole lot of English. They were kind of foreign. And to me, I thought they looked pretty cool. They have a certain hairstyle, they got certain clothes, they got, you know, their accent sort of thing. I just thought it was really cool. And I thought it was pretty amazing to get to see new people. And then one time when I was in the lunch, it boils down to that the kids, they were kind of really alone sort of thing with their own foreign group. That's the thing about their own foreign group. It's not like, yeah, it's just pretty much a name of a group, basically, the foreign group. And so I'm like, that's kind of not fair. I want them to have more people. So one time when I was in lunch, I went up to them and released one of my secret weapons, a deck of playing cards. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do a lot of times, whip out my secret weapon. That's how you get a game going, how to interact with other people. And with a deck of cards, you don't need to know English to know certain games like Speed, Go Fish, or Crazy Eights, or King's Quarters, a lot of different games, or Solitaire and all that stuff too. And they thought it was really amazing that someone who doesn't really know the language get to interact with a foreign exchange student. And so when they had to go back to their countries, I felt pretty sad, wanted to know him better, especially that German boy's hairdo. Man, he had much cooler hairdo than probably I would ever think of. I just think that their characteristics are amazing, and so they were kind of an inspiration, saying that this is what it's like to be in school or in a different country. And I thought that was kind of neat. But I know they had to go back to their countries, but someday once I go back to Germany or Turkey, I might see them again, because I thought they were pretty cool. And they thought I was neat too, saying that, well, you're a stranger and from the USA, why are you doing this to the deck of cards? I'm just saying that it's possible to be friends with people who can't even speak the language. And yeah, I always say, and it's cool. It's pretty much my own stutter, so I apologize for repeating it so many times. All right. And with, and, all right. Yeah. All right. See, that's the thing about speaking. You always have a glass of water with you. You tend to sweat a lot. This is not actually my first time of speaking in a live audience. I mean, I did, speak in radios and, in front of that TV over there, failing that slam dunk. And, but, performing in high school spirit, saying "Go Spartans," and every time I do it, it's very nerve-wracking too. I want to be honest with you. I'm kind of sweating a little bit, so sorry about that. But every time I do it, you kind of do get this satisfaction afterwards. It's like it's better than playing Wii U all day, because you can play Wii U any day, really. You can make sure to do stuff like speaking in front of a live audience at a young age or anything like that. And shoot, I'm losing words again. This is my awesomeness I'm speaking. Not really awesomeness, but autism. Excuse me. All right. So again, with kindness, I would like to make a challenge, saying that kindness is very possible. It only happens with two people, one who accepts and one who offers. Wait, go back, reverse. One who offers and one who accepts. And once you accept the kindness, the offerer would feel really good and feeling like they would never let the acceptor down, and they wanted to do everything they could to help him. Like certain things, like go to the nurse's office or tell us about why you're so sad or angry, what we can do to help you, that sort of thing. And these moments can be pretty short. They can be pretty like 5 minutes or so. And then when you do that kind of effect, you you pretty much go off doing your own thing with your own schedule. But once you do that kindness effect, people will remember you for a long time for these kindness effects. And for that, you'll never know once you hold the door open for a person on crutches. You might receive free coupons at Wendy's. That's the thing about kindness. You might be rewarded. You may be rewarded. If not, then that's okay. Just keep on trying to get that reward. So this is the challenge for you. Once you keep on trying to do these acts of kindness, that's when you you may be rewarded by people who loves that kindness that you offer, because they accept. Because sometimes even the acceptors are a big part of the kindness effect. It's all about teamwork. And like I said in the book, there's a T in teamwork. All right, and with that, I would like to kind of go on top of it right here. All right. So just to remember, students, is that there's a hero in all of us. I love superheroes. It's a whole part of fantasy. Once again, I just want to make sure you all know that. All part of fantasy. Everyone is a hero. There's a hero in all of us. So when you are down, any hero will help you to go up in the skies. Unless if you're Batman, or go down to the Batcave. So, allow them to help you. This is a great challenge of trust, teamwork, and courage. And I couldn't really think of another word that relates to courage that starts with the letter T, so I'm sorry. Are you ready to be recognized as a hero or heroine of your own school? Then let's make this journey together as a population of one. I'm Tyler McNamer. Thank you for letting me here. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
I'm so fortunate to have such a fantastic young man here with us today. I'm so fortunate to have such great kids in the audience as well. So you guys did a fantastic job today. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and exit as we always do. Guests, and go ahead and exit first. If you want to wait for anyone out in the commons to talk to or anything like that, that'd be fine. Before we exit, Tyler will be in the library for questions and answers. Just talk to him and say hi to him and whatnot. He will be in the library after school. Okay? Here's what we're going to do. I think we have enough time to head back to our PAC classes. Okay? We're going to exit to our PAC class. Okay, 6th graders, go ahead.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
You're listening to. Thank you for being here.
I kind of grew deaf on this ear, so I kind of blanked out a little bit.
Not a problem. No.
Hey.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, amazing.
Thanks so much. Hey. Hey. Oh, it's good to see you. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for coming, by the way. It's very...
Thank you. We have a question for you.
Oh, sure.
You were telling us about how good of a dancer you are. Can you like show us how to dance?
Well, when I said the bus stop, I did like a little simple gesture. I'm like, bus stop, do the bus stop, little bit to the right, little bit to the bus stop, and then I do this, and then you do the same thing right here.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, it's easy for the other kids to get it. You are a fine audience. Thank you so much.
Really inspiring.
Yeah, thanks, man. Absolutely. Good job. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you. You are a very nice audience.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you.
Signed by manatee.
Absolutely.
Yay.
That's a very nice manatee.
Thank you.
Again, students, if you have supplies or books or backpacks,
There you go. Huh?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
my apologies.
Sure, I'll see what I can do. Whoops.
I have a pen if you need it.
Oh, right here. All right.
Thank you.
Great job, 7th grade.
Thanks for being a good audience member. Hey.
I can tell you were really nervous out there.
Yeah, aren't we all, man?
You're only 19 and you don't talk much in front of much people.
Especially when you have autism, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Autism don't like to talk.
I'm glad you realize that. That's pretty good. Thank you, good sir. Hey. Thank you so much, sir. Hey. Good to see you.
Sweetheart, you did so good.
Thank you.
I know. Every time I look at you,
Hey. Oh, thank you for thinking. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're very welcome. Hey, thank you very much for thinking.
thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Yeah, you are a really nice audience. Absolutely. Thank you. See ya. Whew. I'm going a little deaf on this ear. Oh, wow.
That was phenomenal, dude. I got tears in my eyes. It was so good.
Really?
Can we have a hug? Good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
I gotta have a hug from everybody.
I'm a little busy right now. Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for being a nice audience member.
Thank you for coming and speaking to us.
You are all a great audience. Thank you so much. No, thank you for being great audience members. I can shake with this hand too.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who says the left can't be good? All right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're great.
Oh, thanks. You're the best. Hey, Mom.
Hey, bud.
Wow.
Hi, thank you for talking to us.
Oh, thank you for being a nice audience.
You did a really good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you're very welcome.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Great job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, thanks for being a nice audience member.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Hey, man, nice to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Good for you to be a good audience member.
Yeah, I think we should go down to the library.
My hand is warm.